FAMU's Board of Trustees voted 8-3 this morning, approving Marva Johnson's contract. 5 years, $650,000 a year, plus much more in potential bonuses. It's another move that has upset many in the FAMU community.
Hey, what's up, y'all? First off, all glory go to God and unto me. It's your host, Justin Ruffen Douglas. Thanks for joining me again on the HBCU Culture channel. Today, I'm going to do another reaction fair use video, and this time I'm going to be talking about that situation down at FAMU where they are approving and have approved their new president's salary of $650K for 5 years. I'm going to do a reaction video to that because I've been following the story for the past few days, and it's really interesting. So I wanted to kind of give my thoughts on everything going on. I was going to try to react to a Roland Martin video talking about it from 2 weeks ago when she was elected and confirmed. But I think he has it where you can't download his videos, which is why I probably never see any Black Star Network videos reacted to, except for when Stephen A. Smith did it. But it's all good because this one will be shorter and you'll be able to see it and follow it better and all that good stuff. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, share. I share things about all types of HBCU news, and my bread and butter is the HBCU college tours that I do, shedding light on various HBCU institutions that I visit around the nation so that youth and young adults will possibly consider them when they do their higher education. I have yet to watch all of this, so this is going to be a pretty much on-the-spot reaction. I just kind of skimmed it when I couldn't download the Roland Martin Black Star Network video. So here we go.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Julie Montanaro.
And I'm Jacob Murphy. FAMU's Board of Trustees voted 8-3 this morning, approving Marva Johnson's contract. 5 years, $650,000 a year, plus much more in potential bonuses. It's another move that has upset many in the FAMU community.
Man, she getting 5 years, $650K a year. And this angered the FAMU community. I can definitely understand why, because first of all, historically Black colleges always trying to find ways to get money in the first place. And she really trying to break the bank. You know, I've been following the story, and based on what Roland Martin on the Black Star Network was reporting, she's making about two or three times more than the last president made per year. And of course, the FAMU community is upset because she just basically got in that she's not qualified for the job, which I can understand why, being a Prairie View A&M alumni myself from a historically black college, if somebody was getting the president's job and they were not qualified and the other people were more qualified than them, I'm pretty sure we'd be pretty upset too. So like they were saying, this looks like a person that was set up by their governor, Ron DeSantis. I try not to get too political on my channel or whatever, except when I talk about stuff Roland Martin talked about, because he's from the H and I'm from the H and all that. So I like to watch what he's doing and support what he's doing and all that good stuff. But I mean, this has to be said, because in Florida, you know, they be on that other stuff, man. They got a lot of racist stuff going on down there. Let's just be honest about it. Let's just be honest. So this looks like another one. It looks like he has people set in place, you know, because the Board of Trustees, they said that they voted 8-3 to approve her new salary, $650K a year, plus bonuses. Like, what kind of mess is this?
Back in April, some members of the board wanted to pause this presidential search, resulting in an hour of debate and a mostly split vote. There were then calls for members who voted to continue to resign. The Florida Board of Governors reviewed the search, focusing on non-disclosure agreements. And just before the trustees' final vote, local leaders and alumni, including Will Packer, rallied to voice concerns that the search was becoming too political.
The NAACP also wrote a letter to the Board of Governors saying they were worried the search was tainted by, quote, political interference. The vote itself marked a divide in the university's trustees, with 4 members, including the student president representation there, voting for another candidate. After Johnson's selection, more than 1,000 FAMU students and alumni attended an online meeting to outline ways to take action against the pick.
Another thing that I've been following about it that I like to highlight is that this lady never worked in higher education. She was a lobbyist for the Florida government or something like that. You know, she's a Republican, of course. And she never went to a HBCU. She did not attend an HBCU. All the schools she went to like Georgetown and 2 other PWIs, which I feel like she's not really for the HBCU community. Of course, FAMU is a bright and shining star in the HBCU community, a prestigious institution that has a big campus, you know, a big, beautiful campus. I've been on it myself, great facilities. This is just ridiculous. I can understand why they upset. They have a lot of pride in that Rattler Nation and all that kind of stuff, and you can definitely tell when you talk to them and come across them. So man, I don't think this is right either. This is ridiculous, and that lady gonna have a real hard time, and as she should, being president, just taking over, being set in place by the governor. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have no HBCU experience. You don't have any higher education experience. She's very unqualified.
Our Abraa Ruffen has followed the search process. Abraa is here in the studio this afternoon. All that public pushback brought up in today's board meeting too.
So it's my understanding that the FAMU community did a lot of things to try to stop this from happening before it happened, and this lady was elected anyway. They got Will Packer involved. They got the NAACP involved. They had debate. The student body was in an uproar. Alumni was in an uproar. And the government of Florida still did exactly what they wanted to do. The question is, and what I want y'all to put in the comments is, where do we go from here as the HBCU community? How do we stop this from happening at other universities around the nation if something like this were to try to happen again? If this is an example and nothing worked at all that they tried to do. They were still put in position based on what the governor wanted and the people, the board of trustees, people that he put in place. Basically, Roland Martin said that Ron DeSantis has his own Negroes. She's one of his Negroes, Marva Johnson, and the board of trustees. He already put them in place. Like, he been playing chess, not checkers, real talk. He already put them in place to vote how he want them to do, just like a lot of those people on Capitol Hill that be doing the bidding for MAGA and all that. Well, he got his own people doing their own bidding in Florida. So what if this tries to happen in Texas or somewhere else, you know, in Mississippi or Alabama or Georgia or something? I don't think it would be able to happen in Georgia like they were saying. But you know, this is ridiculous. They did a lot of things to try to stop this from happening, and it still happened. It's like she's just doing what she want to do. They doing what they want to do. How can we stop this from happening in the future, and how can they get her up out of there before her term is up?
That's right, Julie. Trustee John Crossman brought up what he sees as a lack of trust by the FAMU community and the Board of Trustees and Florida's Board of Governors. Trustee Crossman talked about the university being in a fragile season, the need for accountability, and making sure everyone's concerns are truly heard. He shared that he wants to see a shift in that as soon as possible, as he believes it's affecting the overall flow of decision making.
And that real issue is just trust. And I don't mean that trust in like a ethical kind of way. I mean, it's like people being heard and listened to. And I'm just near the end if we cannot get a plan very soon. And I'm happy to be part of a team that works on that and get together key constituents. But that has got to get addressed.
During the meeting, Trustee Nicole Washington stated that the president-elect will be given 90 days to develop goals that the board will evaluate every year to determine if she'll receive performance bonuses. Those would be up to $86,000 a year.
So let me get this straight. She's going to be making $650,000 a year, and then the board is going to vote, and she has 90 days to get her goals together and all that, and they're going to vote every year to see if she gets $86,000 in bonuses per year. To me, she seems like she's self-serving. She's not here to serve the HBCU population and community of FAMU. She's here to get rich. She gonna make millions of dollars before she leaves FAMU. I think in the ballpark of about $4 to $5 million before she leaves, making this much money, and she's unqualified. And I know y'all know that. I know y'all agree. Like, what is this? I don't know what this is. Like, this is outrageous. This is ridiculous. If you are not a HBCU alum, or if you have never worked in higher education as a professor, at a university at all, she never worked at a university, period, in any capacity. All she did was work on the state school board, I believe. That's it. She ain't been in no classrooms. She, you know what I'm saying, based on what I read, I mean, I don't know her background, but I know the colleges that she went to. She went to 3 different PWIs for all of her various degrees that she has. One I remember off the top of my head was Georgetown. I'm not gonna say the other ones, but PWI institutions have totally different demographics and totally different student needs and alumni needs than do HBCUs. Let's continue.
Live in studio, Abraa Ruffen, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, Abraa, thank you. Now, Johnson's next step is confirmation from the Florida Board of Governors.
Well, we already know she's going to be confirmed by the Board of Governors because they're the ones that put her in place in the first place, it seemed like. If Board of Governors and the governor and all that, Ron DeSantis and all that kind of stuff is the same thing. And then they got to rework their budget to be able to pay her $650,000 a year and to pay her these millions of dollars that she going to get over the next 5 years. And based on looking at the Roland Martin Black Star Network coverage, the only reason why a lot of those Board of Trustees that are supposedly, quote unquote, Ron DeSantis' Negroes put her in places because she can fundraise for the university. She has a lot of experience fundraising and things like that. But it seems to me like she's taking a lot of the funds before she raises them, and they're having to rework their budget to be able to pay for these things, to be able to pay her salary. Like, she's not a community servant at all. And I'm sure y'all already know that. Man, let's make sure we get thoughts and prayers and continue to pray for the FAMU community as they go through this. And also that we figure out a way as an HBCU community as a whole to not allow outsiders like this that are unqualified to take over our universities. Roland Martin also made a good point. He made the point that if you're one of those people in Florida or one of those people for the general election who did not vote, well, he ran for office. Ron DeSantis ran for office in Florida and all the things done. If you did not vote in Florida, then it's kind of hard to complain about what he's doing, because this was all planned. It had to be planned before now. I don't know when they got they actually just put some of the Board of Trustees in place right before this committee search. I saw from the Black Star Network coverage about this as well. So I'm just curious to see I don't really want to see what their moves are going to be, because they're already trying to take a lot of Black history and things out of curriculum and things like that around the nation, and especially in Florida, I've heard about. But how can you take Black history and African American studies and things like that out of a historically Black college and university? Tell me how that's gonna work. And I don't know, man. But
FAMU Foundation will now also have to rework its budget to accommodate this contract, and will present its new budget at next week's trustees meeting. Anyway,
please comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I would love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on this. This stuff that's going on, but we can't allow this to happen at any other university. They attacking FAMU first, and FAMU is like one of the biggest, I think, next to just North Carolina A&T, is the only one larger than FAMU far as the student population. But they gotta be one of the most popular HBCUs, if not one of the most known HBCUs in the country. One of the flagship institutions. So if they starting with this one, I can see it trying to be a domino effect where they're going to try to do this with other universities as well. So we got to figure out how we can stop this from happening. And I'll be following the story. Let me know if y'all would like to see more reaction videos from me. I did one before this one about why young black men are not choosing to attend historically black colleges and universities. And I had to do this on this one. I'm thinking I'm going to do more reaction videos, but I'm definitely going to continue to do my college tours because that's very important. They've gotten a good response. Plan to do some band reaction videos eventually. I haven't done that yet. And anything I can post about HBCUs, I'll make sure that I do that. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for watching.